Hello, TOP. Hello, everyone, all guests and all. Happy Tuesday afternoon. Is it Tuesday? No, it's Thursday. The time goes by so fast until I forget my dates. But happy October 27th. And God bless you today. Welcome to Hope Lives Here. I'm Apostle Dolores Kendrick, and I am just basking in His presence and enjoying His presence and looking forward to sharing with you. Sometimes, when I talk with you, I can vision you're here, and different times you're able to listen. You can't always just maybe connect on the particular day, but you can catch up. And I just encourage you just to catch up on the sharings of Hope Live Here. I guarantee you it will enlighten you, it will strengthen you, and it will be a blessing to your day. Sometimes you have to, because of work and all, you might have to watch the video in the evening and so forth. But whatever you do, I know that it's going to be a blessing to you. We have been fasting and we've been praying, and we are coming to the close of October. Can you believe that? Coming to the close of October and entering into November. And I always like to think of November as the Thanksgiving month, before we enter into Thanksgiving Day and also December, Christmas. This year have went by fast. And so I just want to welcome you and once again just share the word of the Lord with you. We've been talking about prayer since we have been fasting and praying on Wednesdays. And I want to share with you in the book of First Samuel, chapter the 30th chapter of First Samuel. And here we read of how the Amalekites invaded Ziklag. Remember that? And they destroyed it and took away all the wives and the children. And when David and his men, they were out working for the Lord. They were out fighting the war with the enemy and winning the war. But while they're out working for the Lord, the enemy comes into their camp and destroys everything and take away their wives and their children as captives. Sometimes we look at how the enemy has come into your place as you have doing everything that's right. You're doing things that God have called you to do. You are faithful in the work of the Lord, and the enemy comes right into your space and just takes your children, steal your children, and just have them out in the world and all. And you say, Lord, what have I done wrong? You haven't did anything wrong. You've done everything right. That's why the enemy came in like he did. And this is what happened to David. And when David, and when his men got back to Ziklag, they got back home, they found that everything was destroyed by fire. Their wives, their sons, their daughters taken captives. So David and his men wept aloud until they had no strength left to weep. I think about even the hurricanes that came in and how it just destroyed so many homes, and the fires in Washington and the fires in California around that have just destroyed homes, and the people have come back to their homes with nothing left, nothing but their lives. And we can learn a lesson here, as devastating as that is, and that is devastating. But David and his men, they wept. They wept aloud. They were torn inside. And I don't know if you have ever been there. I'm sure you have. I know I have. I've been in places where it looked like I just couldn't understand it. I'm doing everything that God has called me to do, that I know to do, and things have just come in and just stole from my home. There was times when my home was broken and stole, and they just took everything that was valuable to me. And just different times in our lives we've suffered loss. Well, there are situations that causes people to weep today, and just pour out their heart to God. But then David did something, and we need to learn a lesson from this. David took a important step here. And he inquired. He inquired of the Lord. Now, really, when you think of this, if as a warrior that he was, and he's been out fighting the battle and he's just won victory, and he comes in and his house has been just burned down, and all the men's family is taken, you look like you wouldn't have had a second thought. You just would have turned and went right back into battle. But he didn't do that. He was a man of prayer, and he knew that God was in control. And I want to remind you today, God is in control. And if he allows it, he has a strategy to fix it. If he allows disaster to come, if he allows pain to come to you, because nothing can come to you that he does not allow. So if he allowed it, he's very able to fix it. And that's why David inquired of the Lord. It's very vital to seek God in the face of pain and hurt. And so he did. He sought the Lord to say, what should I do? What should I do? And that was a different question, wasn't it? Sure, you go and get your things back. No, Lord, I'm going to inquire of you. What would you have me to do? Shall I pursue this raiding party and overtake them? Because I know I can as long as you're with me. And the Lord said, pursue them. You'll certainly overtake them and succeed in the rescue. And that's exactly what he did. A word from the Lord, someone once said, validates a testimony. It doesn't matter how long it takes, it will happen. Let me share something that happened, but first I just want you to know that David pursued, and the Bible tells us that David recovered everything the enemy had taken from him, including his two wives. Nothing was missing, young or old, boy, girl, plunder, nothing was missing. They got it all back. Amen. And so as I looked at this and I was reading, I thought about my life when my home has been broken in before, and just my valuable things taken that I've held dear to me. But there was one time that I lost something. It wasn't stolen from me. I was in a restaurant with my family, and I was, uh, after I paid for the meal, I took my card, and my purse was down on the floor beside me, and I took my card, thought I dropped it in my purse, and evidently my purse wasn't open, and I thought it was, and it fell on the floor, but I didn't know that. And so as I left the restaurant, after paying for the meal and all, and got home, for some reason I needed that card, my debit card. And so I don't remember, it was so many years ago, I don't remember, but I looked in my purse, and I did not have, no, it wasn't just my card, excuse me, it was my wallet. It was my wallet that when I put the card in, I dropped it on the floor, and my wallet wasn't in my purse. And so I immediately called the restaurant, asked them to please check down by where I was sitting and see if my wallet was there, if they had turned in the wallet. Of course, no one had turned it in. And I began to pray. I said, Lord, I said, I have found many valuable things of people, and I have always returned them. I've always taken it back to the bank when I found a wallet or found something of some persons. I need you to return to me that wallet. And I went back to the restaurant, and of course, they still had not the next day. I prayed and I said, Lord, I just don't believe you're going to let my wallet just be lost. But I had to go change all my cards just to be safe and use wisdom. And it went on. And I finally just said, well, Lord, I don't understand this, but I give it to you. Months went by, and then a year. And about a year later, I got a call from the bank. And they said, "Are you Dolores Kendrick?" And I says, "Yes, I am." And they says, "Well, we have a wallet that was turned in." I said, "A wallet?" I said, "Since that time, I bought a new wallet, have my cards changed and everything." I says, "A wallet?" I says, "Yes, I did lose a wallet a year ago." They said, "Well, will you please come in and bring some ID?" I went into the bank, took ID and looked, and that was my wallet. The minute I saw it, I said, "Well, this is my wallet." Gave them all the information. I says, "But when did this come in?" And they says, "Well, we were cleaning, we were spring cleaning, and we found this wallet in the drawer that's been there evidently for some." I said, "You mean to tell me my wallet, you kept my wallet for 1 year, and someone had turned it in, and you did not call me right away? And only a year later when you're spring cleaning?" And I just was furious, but then I was checked in my spirit. I said, "Lord, why would they do this?" And I was going to report them, which I did report them, this particular bank and to the management, and let them know what they had did. But I began to think, "Lord, why would this happen?" I'm going a little longer this afternoon because I want you to hear all of this. And I said, "Why did this happen?" And the Lord let me know it was a year later, but He had not forgotten. The answer to my prayer came in. Yes, a year later, but God answered my prayer. Let me tell you something. Many times we pray for a thing, and God, for some reason, allows it to go seemingly unnoticed by God. Seem like He hasn't heard us. The heaven seems like brass. But I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you this afternoon. Hold on. Maybe I never would have found the wallet, but God would let me know that nothing would be lost. You have not lost. You keep on praising and keep on believing God and know that God is on your side and He can restore back to you everything that you've ever lost. Remember that. So let's not get discouraged because things happen that we don't understand. Where the enemy comes in, he destroys homes, he destroys property. God has 10,000 blessings in His one right hand to satisfy your every need. God bless you today. And I hope you're encouraged rather, and you know that hope does live here and it lives in your home. God bless you.